Hello friends, this is Lada. Yesterday I was writing a new article for my multidimensional healing and activation program. This is for my $25 plus participants on Patreon. And this article was about the new chakra I discovered. I call it the hidden chakra of secrets and dreams. This is not about that article, although the article is very interesting and fascinating in itself. But what I was doing before that, because this was brand new material, never shared before with public, and I wanted additional sort of affirmation, I decided to pull some cards. I oftentimes do that before the beginning of the day, before sitting down to do something important, writing an article, for example, or starting a new venture. I pulled 5 cards out of 3 decks, and I'm sharing it with you because I wanted to see how my process works when I do timeless readings. In this case, the reading concerned my messages from my guides, from my higher self to myself at this point in time. What do I need to know? What do I need to take into account regarding that article, regarding the direction I'm taking, and generally for the day? So I did that yesterday. I used 3 decks. One is one of my favorites of all times. That's Oceanic Tarot. It's a lovely deck. It's very positive, very sweet deck with beautiful colors. See, the colors are seafoam green, the aquamarine basically color, and those who are reading my multidimensional healing and activation posts will know that the chakra, the hidden chakra of secrets and dreams, actually is that turquoise aquamarine color. So I used this deck because it really resonated. Another one, which I rarely actually use, very rarely, is the Syrian Starseed Tarot. It's a huge deck, very interesting, very unusual, but it has some tarot in it, except it is represented from a point of view of a starseed, Syrian starseed. So I never resonated very much with this deck, but now I'm starting to use it more and more, and those who order readings might see it in their readings. And when we start doing public timeless readings, well, this is a secret for now, but this is going to be shared with people publicly as well. And Archangel Oracle cards, that's an old classic by Doreen Virtue. I wrote about Doreen Virtue. It doesn't matter that she does not do that anymore, that she denies her previous path in life. It really doesn't matter, because once a book, once cards, any music, any work of art is released, it doesn't matter where the author goes from there. Could deny everything they did before. They say that delete my name from it. But the work remains for those who need to hear the message. It just exists in the universe, independent of anybody else. It's sovereign. That's why I keep using it. I'm not one of those people who tore up her decks or burned them. I use the decks that I bought them because I like them, and I continue using them because I like them. This is a mini reading, so it's only 5 cards. I intended to pull 1 or 2 cards from the Starseed Tarot, but 3 cards came out. It often happens when there is more of a message there than you initially intended to hear. And so these are the ones that came out, and I'm going to share them with you now. So this is Luna. That corresponds with the Moon card. Luna is very interesting. It can signify emotions running high. It can also signify a certain amount of confusion on the emotional level, but it also can signify inspiration and being in tune with your spiritual self, with your mystic self. So basically, this is a mystical card, because the reading concerned my articles that are very mystical, very high consciousness oriented, which are for the multidimensional healing and activation program. But yes, there were certain doubts about certain things. I'm rethinking a lot of my business model and my model of sharing things with people in the world. And you will hear it very soon. I'm not going to give you any spoilers right now, but messages, very important announcements, and new things are coming your way later in August. So I was in this contemplation mode for a while about that, how to proceed, and it's becoming clearer and clearer now that my ruling planet, Jupiter, is going direct, has gone direct actually. I'm getting more and more clarity. We're out of Mercury retrograde. Mercury is also awfully important in my life because I'm a communicator. So that's the ultimate planet of communication. Both Mercury and Jupiter, in fact, are about communication. One on the everyday level, sort of like journalistic, and another on the high dimensional level as spiritual communicator. So both are awfully important. So when both are retrograding at the same time, ouch, plus 2 eclipses in July. So there was a lot of, in my world, there was a lot of rethinking, a lot of remeditating, redoing, resetting the balance in my life. But there will be a lot of things. You will see such blossoming, so much coming towards you and towards a lot of people in the world that I'm very excited. I intend to share a lot, and it's going to be really great. So that was the first card that came out, and 2 cards jumped out instead of 1. Those who are familiar with tarot will recognize right away that this is part of the wands suit of cards. And one suit, it depicts wands or sometimes arrows, but in reality, this is fire. And fire concerns inspiration, new ideas, as well as action. So, for example, if there is travel, you will get a lot of fire in your reading. And because of Starseed Tarot, they renamed everything. So here it's called flames. And flame of knowledge, in Russian, that's actually lighting up the flame of knowledge. That's how people talk still about education. In the West, they actually forgot that that's how it started. Lighting up the flame, that's like light. So enlightenment. As you see here, there is an enlightenment. Here you see a flame above her head, and that is enlightenment, connection to the divine. She is that goddess, that's a Hindu goddess that is depicted here. Agni, I believe they're trying to portray in this specific case. Agni, in Russian, огонь. As you see, that's the same word, Agni, огонь. And in fact, огонь means flame, fire. And to this day, we use the word огонь to signify fire, even though that's a very ancient word. In Hindu, that's Agni. And so Agni, огонь, is the name for the goddess. It's called here Sage of Flames, but is the goddess of fire. In Vedic, you remember me discussing Vedism in my Forbidden History and Forgotten Origins webinars. In Vedic tradition, ancient tradition, Rus and now Hindu, this is fire, огонь, Agni. So Sage of Flames is the goddess of that. It corresponds with the queen of Wands in regular tarot. Master, who is a female, of inspiration. Well, since I'm a female, it actually signifies me. It's actually me who is the master of inspiration, of great ideas, who has mastered them, who is now sharing them with the world. It has this motherly aura to it, the motherly kind of feel to it. It's the yin goddess, as opposed to the master, who in this tarot is master, and in the regular tarot it's king of flames or king of wands. And the king will have this yang nature, so yin nature, in other words, nurturing, educational, taking care, holding hand of your clients, of your patrons, etc. That's me. Okay. And then there is a seeker of flames. That's another one that came out. And as you see, this one is the mistress. She is the queen. And she shares her knowledge. She has so many flames that she will give to other people. These flames, she will, like Prometheus, basically, sharing the flame of knowledge, the flame of truth, and the flame of warmth with other people. And the seeker of flames, see how she is. That's the goddess over there, the goddess representation, which is actually a cat goddess, or yeah, that's a cat goddess. And so this cat goddess has the flame. She's holding the flame. But the seeker of flames, that word is very good. They chose a very good word. And it corresponds with the page, which is the most junior of the court suite of cards. And so the page of flames is the one who is seeking to find the truth of knowledge, seeking to find that inspiration and that beautiful knowledge of the universe that Sage of Flames is dispersing, is giving. So Seeker of Flames are my followers. They represent my followers who want that knowledge, who want that fire. So she has a torch in her hand. and she is asking the goddess whether she will give her some of that flame. Of course, the goddess says yes, because Sage of Flames is right there. So from inspiration and mystical ideas, as expressed by Luna, comes the Sage of Flames, who is a master, female master, yin master, educational, nourishing, very caring master, mistress, that is, of the knowledge, inspiration, great new ideas. And then seekers come, who are my followers, who will be interested in hearing what I have to say. So that was such a lovely reading. To confirm all this, because remember, I was about to sit down and write a brand new article with brand new ideas. Out of the Archangel Oracle cards, I pulled out, would you believe, creative writing. Archangel Gabriel, make time to write down your thoughts in a journal or pen, an article or book. That's what it actually says. Oh yeah, I was penning my article all right. So the article came out really well, and it was already released to my patrons. Well, eventually I might share it with more people, because I think it's very important new information, but that's going to be down the road. And also that program, so you all know, if you're not a $25 participant at this time, that's a Patreon program. Eventually it will go broader. My multidimensional patrons still will be able to access it in its when it's completed, but also it will be for sale for general public. And I might also have certain other perks. And the last card I pulled was Two of Cups. It says partnership here. That's from the Oceanic Tarot. Generally speaking, in the regular tarot, it signifies love. See cups, that's emotion, and there are two people here. See the beautiful dolphin there? Cup is where water is poured, so emotions. And these are Two of Cups is a very positive card. Usually it signifies love. It usually depicts two people in love, standing and holding cups to each other. But it also can signify beautiful partnership that is business oriented or that is spiritually oriented. Like, for example, partnership between me, the Sage of Flames, and my patrons and my followers, who are the Seekers of Flames. That's through writing, incidentally, and through inspiration that is depicted by the Luna. Also, the connection with the lunar cycles are indicated by this card. It is also a reminder for me to work with moon cycles, to do certain things during full moon and use full moons and new moons to my advantage as well. Here, this is a full moon depicts it here. So that's basically use full moon to my advantage. Don't wait for something. Don't procrastinate. If you have ideas, which is the Sage of Flames, express them and share them with seekers who will come and who will be very receptive to these new ideas. What I'm sharing with you today is also a new idea. This is something very new that I'm doing. Eventually there will be readings which might be more involved readings and readings that you will find really interesting, that will be shared both with patrons and then eventually with the public. So stay tuned. This is all for now. Let me know in comments how you like it. Of course, put your likes up, leave comments, questions if you have them. Thank you very much. Bye now.